Hey everybody, it's Z from the Quest, and got more rescue stuff going on here. Um, this was our latest rescue. Uh, let's see, this is Action Report 521. Uh, the, a message to all of you that read this. If you do nothing about this crime against humanity, someday it's going to find you. Guaranteed. Anyway, so on with this. Since 2015, we have been rescuing child sex slaves. Now we are on the verge of having rescued 2,000 kids, and to this day, I know where each one of them is. We have 100% retention rate. No one else in this field can claim this. We have what we call graduates. Two have achieved this. Graduates are kids who have saved and who we saved and educated so they can survive outside the brothel. Not only survive, but thrive with their heads held high. 2,000 souls have been saved and provided for in real life, with real life. The quest ECSS does not end with a rescue. That really hurts more than it helps. The Quest ECSS rescue is only the start of a new life for these kids. This rescue has been on all of our minds for quite some time. I heard from our team that they had found a way into a brothel we had been watching for a while. It was a police protected child brothel. It was located in Central City and on a street with no cross streets. There was only one intersection, and behind the buildings lining the street, there was a maze of alleys, most without an exit. So, one way in and the same way out. With this being a police protected child brothel, they were fearless in protecting it. This was a bad option for us, and we had been debating when and how to extract the girls safely. With our recent interaction with some of the Marines, we had some new contacts. G.I. Jane from that rescue was hanging out at one of our locations to learn about the kids. I contacted her and asked if she had any experience in this area. She did, and also had some contacts, and of course, she wanted in. The intel she provided led us to some of her contacts and information on the individual police that were involved, along with their family for information or family information. We also were able to get their home addresses and what times they worked and where they would be when not working. We saw this as a 3-day rescue. We would have to neutralize the police at the time when it would be safe when we could safely extract the little girls from the brothel. We needed personnel for this mission, uh, but that would not be a problem. Everybody wanted in this rescue that would bring us over 2,000 saved kids. What took place was surveillance on all the police, the volunteers, by the volunteers, and our team. They divided into 7 groups to make this happen. They would not engage unless there was no other choice. Communications would be cut off at any time to them if they got suspicious. I would be monitoring all the chat from each of the groups and relayed it to the commander to keep updated on the rescue. I would not be instructing the commander on the readiness. I would be instructing the commander on the readiness of the groups, and then to tell the groups when the rescue was on. Okay, all were in place. We had 17 girls in the brothel, aged approximately 11 to 14 years old. There were 2 police guards on duty and 1 businessman inside. We knew the layout and that the guards would be in the main entrance. The girls would be in the back of the brothel with a hallway opening at both ends. Before entry, we would disable their communications and put to sleep the guards and businessman. Then we would move to both ends of the hallway, and our female teammates would go in and get the girls. At the same time of entry, 5 transports would block the entrance of the brothel. All transports would appear what we would call taxis, and the drivers would be in plain clothes. No one would see the team, or think much of the taxis. And by the time they did, we would be gone. The commander contacted me and told me they were a go. I notified all groups and waited till all checked in with ready. Then I told the commander it was a go. We planned on 5 minutes to get the girls and be past the one intersection. All the girls were collected in our taxis with the guards and businessman asleep. And yes, our cards were left on them. No time to strip them as we normally do. The team crossed the intersection and our groups took to the streets as backup for the transports. We had plans to separate the transports if needed, but we were undetected. They continued to the safe house as the group slowly spread apart to make sure there were no shadows. At the safe house, the kids were looked over and it was explained to them what was going on. There was also something epic about this big rescue. One of our girls from 2015 was there to be the one that informed the girls and comforted them as their health was checked. She told them that she had been one of them and about how their life would be from this point on. This settled the girls immensely. They were in a weakened condition and some required more treatment, but I know that healing had already begun. We had new transports arriving to make the long trip more comfortable. All would be going to the same place. I cannot disclose anything about this place, but for those of you who have been following us, I think you know. There was another event I want to tell you about. Remember GI Jane from the Marine Rescue that just happened? She was one that helped us pull this off. She was outside of the safe house asking so many questions, and I could hear her while I was talking to the commander about the situation. I asked who was talking so much. He said, "It's that crybaby Marine that we brought along." I asked him, "What is she asking about?" And the commander told me she wanted to know what was happening to the girls in the house. She was following orders to protect the perimeter, but wanted to know how the girls were doing inside. The commander was laughing, and so was I, because I remember that same feeling when we were new at this. I told the commander to send her inside to help the 2015 rescue with anything that she might need. With that, she bolted through the door, then jumped back to tell the commander thank you. And with a blink of an eye, she was inside. I told the commander when they got to the destination to check with the other teammates and if they all agreed to welcome her to the team. The commander said, "Oh crap, you're going to make her cry again." So anyway, this rescue 17 girls, 11 to 14 years old. Previous total was 1997, and total to date right now 2015. Yes, we did it. All right. So then we got some other things going on here. Let me see. So this is the action report, June 2021. Good news. We just acquired 3 new housing locations for up to 300 more kids. Woohoo! You have no idea how stressed it is to know you can do these rescues and not have a place to put them. So we were really getting desperate here, and now we've got that opportunity. So anyway, being how we cannot afford the $20 a month it takes to take care of these kids, to keep them in this is great news. It means when we have the funding, we can do more rescues. Of course, they must continue our requirements: food, education, and of course healthcare, and they need to learn skills before they can leave the home. That means that they must be able to make 3 times the average person in their area. This is important not only that they can provide for themselves, but that they are looked up to in the community. For the most part, that would be the 3 times would be $450 a month. If they're not able to do this, they are looked down upon as lowlife from their past. Yes, this is hard to understand if you are not from these countries that most of us are from. This is one reason we are the best at what we do. We work within the culture and traditions that the kids are from. There's much more, but I have told you all this many times before. I thought it would be a good reminder, though. Anyway, on to this current news. As of the 1st of this month, 7 more have what we call graduated. All leave with the DJ Riser program. Also, this has been written before. Also, if you want to know more about it, read the other rescue reports. There is also more new rescues. There's a lot going on with the building and repairing of many of our homes, along with the paperwork that is needed to keep them up to date. A note here, Christian homes in many of these countries are not sponsored by the government. Only the Buddhist homes are. So Christians' homes have to maintain many things in building and in paperwork to keep them legal. We pay for this with donations. Also, when a child is rescued, necessary paperwork is also needed, and we provide this also. Okay, so Rescue 1. During all the busy time keeping it all going, we did some recons around the brothels we have been watching. There are also always girls getting sick, being sold to brothels and doctors that take their organs to be sold to other countries. Enough said on this. Patrol set out and was watching for transports that looked suspicious. They could be carrying new girls or being sold elsewhere. 3 of our team located a transport with 3 girls in it. When they stopped for the driver to go into the store, our team checked out the transport and found the girls were obviously sick and barely moving. The teammate took the transport before the driver and noticed driver noticed that the other 2 mates had followed to the home where they were stationed at. In the following hours, it was determined that the girls were sick, mostly from wounds, malnutrition, and fortunately, they were in a home where they could be healed. This was, 3 were rescued, ages 10 to 12. And here's Rescue 2. While doing another recon in a different area, 4 teammates were patrolling and stopping here and there in the area of the brothel we had been watching. This was the 10th day, and that they had been looking for anything that could be a rescue. On the edge of town, the team passed a trike with 4 girls in the back, and it seemed sad looking and dirty. They all seemed sad and looking dirty. This usually is the type that the girls had been bought or taken without the parents really knowing what was really going to happen to them. The parents just needed money, and in these countries, it's a common activity. The team made a U-turn and followed. Since they were well outside the city, they could do what they wanted with the trike and the driver without causing much of a scene. They decided to get the driver's attention and make him think that he had a bad tire. The team stopped him and acted like they were going to help. Once stopped, the team took him to the back of the trike on the side off the street and moved close to him. With a polite threat, it was determined that he was a middleman and was taking the girls to a brothel we were watching. We happened to have a small covered truck that was all open inside and placed the girls inside with the female teammate to let them know all was going to be okay. They also slashed the rear tire of the middleman's trike, and he was okay with it because he would rather live than get more kids to trade. The girls' ages were 11 to 14, or no, 11 to 13, and 4 were rescued. Rescue 3, in another country, we were doing the same thing as the others with 4 teammates roaming near the brothels, known brothels. The teammates were at a local restaurant eating and watching the street. Then they crossed. Then across this dirt street, they saw a small transport parked next to the bar. Yeah, it was just outside, but out of the direct sight from the transport. It did not look normal, and the team was suspicious. So one of them took a walk and casually looked inside. Note, they do this a lot and do not find anything. This one was different. 4 more little girls, ages 9 to 12, and they looked scared. The teammate winked at them, put his finger over to his lips, and then walked across the street, told the female teammate to go check it out. Hopefully, to calm them with what was about to happen. One teammate went into the bar and got a beer and watched from the doorway. We still did not know who the driver was. The other teammates took their transport across the street and parked it just in front of the one with the girls in it. Again, it was our liberated mini truck, one of our mini trucks. They looked up at the teammate in the bar and all was clear. So the teammates with the girls moved the willing girls into our transport and drove away. The teammate in the bar stuck around to see the driver discover his missing cargo. Time passed till the driver was 3 sheets in the wind, staggered out, got into his transport, drove away, never noticing that his cargo was gone. The girls were taken to the home of the teammates and that they were stationed at, and introduced to the head of the home, and she greeted them with so much love. The girls were very accepting and even smiled. That one was new for us. Also, the girls had never made it to the brothel, so all were okay shape, but we're very happy for the food and love. Rescued was 4 of them, and that bring the total roaming rescues to 11. That gives us a grand total so far of 2,025. Or should that be 2026? I guess it would be. Anyway, Z with the quest. Please keep helping us, and we'll keep rescuing kids. Thank you.